topic today we are going to speak about is the basal nuclei. You must have studied the topic basal nuclei in physiology, but the function. Here we will be talking about the structure of the basal nuclei. As you all know, the basal nuclei, they are the subcortical intracerebral masses of gray matter. They are subcortical intracerebral masses of gray matter. They form important part of extrapyramidal system, and the basal nuclei include the corpus striatum, This corpus striatum consists of two parts. Got it? The basal nuclei, they are the subcortical masses present in the subcortical masses of gray matter present in the cerebral hemispheres, and these basal nuclei, they consist of the corpus striatum. The corpus striatum divided into caudate nucleus and lentiform nucleus. Got it? The caudate nucleus and the lentiform nucleus are the parts of the corpus striatum. In addition to this, you have the amygdaloid body, got it, and the claustrum. So these are the parts of the basal nuclei. The basal nuclei consists of corpus striatum, amygdaloid body, and the claustrum. The corpus striatum is further divided into caudate nucleus and the lentiform nucleus, which we shall see individually, differently. Okay. So these are the parts of the basal nucleus. Now, first of all, the caudate nucleus. The caudate nucleus in Latin. Got it? The caudate nucleus in Latin means strip. Got it? The caudate nucleus in Latin means strip. Okay? So there are stripes present along the caudate nucleus. It has a striped body. That's why it is called as the caudate nucleus. Got it? This caudate nucleus is C-shaped. Got it? Or you can say it is C-shaped. Okay, the caudate nucleus is C-shaped. Like this. Got it? It is C-shaped. Okay? It is surrounded by the lateral ventricle. Got it? This caudate nucleus is surrounded by the lateral ventricle. Okay? And in the concavity of the C, got it? In the concavity of the C is present the thalamus. Got it? In the concavity of the C is present the thalamus. Okay? So this is how the structures are present. This is the lateral ventricle, and this C which you see over here, got it? This C which you see over here is the caudate nucleus. Okay? So the caudate nucleus is situated within the concavity of the lateral ventricle. Got it? So see this, all this is the lateral ventricle. So within the concavity of the lateral ventricle is situated the caudate nucleus. Within this caudate nucleus, in this cavity, there is presence of the thalamus. Got it? In the concavity of the C encloses the thalamus and the internal capsule. Got it? In this concavity, it encloses the thalamus and the internal capsule. Now this caudate nucleus consists of head, got it, body, and the tail. Got it? The caudate nucleus and draw individually. caudate nucleus consists of the head, body and the tail. Got it? It consists of the head, body and the tail. Got it? The tail ends into the amygdaloid body. Got it? The tail ends into the amygdaloid body. Got it? So the caudate nucleus consists of head, body, tail, and the tail ends into a mass called as the amygdaloid body. The C-shaped caudate nucleus consists of head, body, tail, and the tail ends into a mass called as the amygdaloid body. Got it? So to repeat again, the basal nuclei, they are the subcortical intercerebral masses of grey matter. Got it? So the brain appears white. The brain consists of two structures, that is the grey matter and the white matter. Okay, we studied about the various sulci and gyri. They are the white matter. Now this is what we are studying is the grey matter. So these are subcortical intracerebral masses of grey matter, and they form important part of the extrapyramidal system. They form important part of the extrapyramidal system. This corpus striatum or this basal nuclei consists of the corpus striatum. Got it? The corpus striatum consists of two parts. Got it? The basal nuclei consists of the corpus striatum, the amygdaloid body, and the claustrum. The basal nuclei consists of the corpus striatum, amygdaloid body, and the claustrum. The corpus striatum is further divided into two parts, the caudate nucleus and the lentiform nucleus. The corpus striatum is further divided into two parts, the caudate nucleus and the lentiform nucleus. Now the caudate nucleus is in Latin means stripped. Stripped means there are stripes present, that's why it is called as stripped. The caudate nucleus, it is a C-shaped nucleus, got it, which is situated on either side by the lateral ventricle. It is surrounded by the lateral ventricle, isn't it? It is surrounded all throughout by the lateral ventricle, and within this concavity there is presence of the thalamus, got it, and the internal capsule, got it, and the internal capsule. Okay, so the caudate nucleus is situated, it is comma shaped. This is present in the cerebral hemisphere. Okay, and this is present in the posterior part between the occipital and the parietal lobes. Okay, and it is surrounded by the lateral ventricle, and within the concavity of the C is present the thalamus and the internal capsule. The parts of the caudate nucleus are, it consists of head, it consists of body, and it consists of the tail. Got it? It consists of head, body, and the tail. Got it? The tail end extends into a mass called as the, it continues into a mass called as the amygdaloid body. The tail end continues into a mass, got it, called as the amygdaloid body. So I hope you understood up to here. Now, okay, so this is about the features. Now we will talk in details about the structure of the caudate nucleus. Okay, now the details about the head. Central diagram. See, this is the C-shaped or comma-shaped caudate nucleus. This caudate nucleus is surrounded by the lateral ventricle. Got it? It is surrounded by the lateral ventricle. Okay? So, what happens? This is the caudate nucleus. So, what will be the relations of the caudate nucleus over here? Now this is the head, this is the body, and this is the tail. This is the head, this is the body, and this is the tail, isn't it? So now it is the matter of understanding. The head, it forms the floor. Got it? Now this is the anterior horn. Anterior horn of lateral ventricle, isn't it? This is the anterior horn, this is the posterior horn, this is the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. So this is the anterior horn of the lateral ventricle. So the head forms the floor of the anterior horn of the lateral ventricle and the medial wall of the internal capsule. Now see, this is the internal capsule. Okay, here is the lentiform nucleus, here is the caudate nucleus, here is the thalamus. This is the lentiform nucleus, this is the caudate nucleus, got it, and this is the thalamus. Okay, and this is the internal capsule. So what is the medial wall of the anterior limb of the internal? So see, this is the internal capsule. Okay, this is the internal capsule, this is the anterior limb, this is the posterior limb, this is the genu, where there is a bend, where the two limbs are meeting is called as the genu. Okay, so see, this is the lateral part, this is the medial part. Okay, this is the lateral part, this is the medial part. So the lateral part is formed by the lentiform nucleus, the medial wall of the internal capsule of the upper limb, anterior. Got it? The medial wall of the anterior limb is formed by the head of the caudate nucleus. So the head of the caudate nucleus, it forms the floor of the anterior horn of the lateral ventricle. Okay, try and understand. See, the head forms the floor of the anterior horn of the lateral ventricle, and the caudate nucleus, it forms the medial boundary, but the medial boundary of the anterior limb of internal capsule. Got it? It forms the medial boundary of the anterior limb of the internal capsule. So see, this is the anterior limb, this is the caudate nucleus. Got it? This is the lateral part, this is the medial part. So the medial part of the anterior limb of internal capsule is formed by the caudate nucleus. Got it? The medial wall is formed by the head of the caudate nucleus. Okay? Now the body. Okay? Now the body forms the floor of the central part of the lateral ventricle. You all know, I had drawn the diagram while teaching the lateral ventricle. I hope you must have gone through the previous videos. So see, this is the central part of the lateral ventricle. So it forms the floor of the central part of the lateral ventricle. Got it? It forms the floor of the central part of the lateral ventricle, and it lies medial to the posterior limb of the internal capsule. So see, this caudate nucleus is situated this way. Got it? It is situated this way. So the body lies, got it, medial to the posterior, it lies medial to the posterior limb of the internal capsule. This is the anterior limb, this is the posterior limb. So head is present in the upper part, that is the anterior limb, and the body is present behind the posterior limb, that is medially to the posterior limb. So the posterior limb, the boundary, the body of the caudate nucleus forms the medial boundary of the posterior limb of internal capsule. The body forms the medial boundary of the posterior limb of internal capsule, and the head forms the medial boundary of the anterior limb of the internal capsule. So this is the internal capsule and this is the caudate nucleus, isn't it? This is the caudate nucleus. So here there is head and here there is body. So the posterior limb, got it? It forms the, where it is related to the body of the caudate nucleus. It is related to the body of the caudate nucleus, and this body of the caudate nucleus, it is separated by the thalamus. Got it? So see, this is the caudate nucleus, this is the posterior limb, and here there is thalamus present. So the body is separated from the posterior limb by the thalamus. Got it? It is separated from the posterior limb by the thalamus, and along with this there is presence of the thalamostrial vein and the stria terminalis. Got it? There is thalamostrial vein and the stria terminalis. Okay. If you remember, while teaching the lateral ventricle, I had drawn a cross section, and in that I had shown you, isn't it? The lateral ventricle, below the lateral ventricle, there is presence of the thalamostrial vein and the stria terminalis. Got it? Stria terminalis. So to repeat again, the head of the caudate nucleus, got it? The head of the caudate nucleus forms the floor of the anterior horn of the lateral ventricle. Got it? It forms the floor of the anterior horn of the lateral ventricle, and it forms the medial wall of the anterior limb of internal capsule. It forms the medial wall of the anterior limb of the internal capsule. The body, it is related to the central part of the lateral ventricle. The body is related to the central part of the lateral ventricle. Got it? And it is, got it? What else is happening? The body, it forms the medial wall of the posterior limb of the internal capsule. The body forms the medial wall of the internal capsule, and this body of the caudate nucleus and the posterior limb of the internal capsule is separated by the thalamus. It is separated by the thalamus, and it is also related to the thalamostrial vein and the stria terminalis. Got it? The stria terminalis. Now remaining is the tail of the caudate nucleus. The tail of the caudate nucleus. Now I told you this is the anterior horn, this is the posterior horn, isn't it? And this is the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. This is the inferior. So this is the tail. So the tail is present on the up. Got it? The tail is present up. So what will happen? The tail forms the roof of the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. Here the lateral anterior horn lies up and the caudate nucleus lies below. So therefore you say this is the floor, and this is up and this is down. So the tail of the caudate nucleus, it forms the, got it? It forms the roof of the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. Got it? It forms the inferior, it forms the roof of the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle, and over here in the lateral part it ends by continuing as the amygdaloid body. Got it? It ends by joining the amygdaloid body. Okay? So to repeat again the relations, got it? To repeat again the relations, the head of the caudate nucleus, it is forming the floor of the anterior horn of the lateral ventricle and the medial wall of the anterior limb of the internal capsule. The body forms the central part. Got it? The body is present in the central part of the lateral ventricle, and in the central part it forms the floor of the central part. So see, this is the central part. It forms the floor of the central part of the lateral ventricle, and it is related to the posterior limb of the internal capsule. It is related to the posterior limb of the internal capsule, that is medially is present the caudate nucleus, and it is separated from the posterior limb by the caudate, it is separated from the nucleus by the thalamus. Got it? It is separated from the nucleus by the thalamus. Okay? And also it is related to the thalamostrial vein and the stria terminalis. Got it? And the tail, got it? The tail, it is related to the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. The inferior horn, the tail forms the roof of the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle, and over here it ends by joining with the amygdaloid body. Got it? It ends by joining the amygdaloid body. So to repeat again, got it? The basal nuclei, they are the subcortical gray masses. They are the subcortical masses of gray matter. Got it? And they are very important because they form parts of extrapyramidal system. The basal nuclei consists of corpus striatum, the amygdaloid body, and the claustrum. It consists of the basal nuclei as corpus striatum, amygdaloid body, and the plaster. Now the caudate nucleus. The caudate nucleus in Latin means stripped body. Got it? It consists. It is a C-shaped nucleus. Okay, it is a C-shaped nucleus or a comma-shaped nucleus, you can say, and it is surrounded by the lateral ventricle. In the concavity of the C is situated the thalamus. So all throughout its extent, it is related to the lateral ventricle. Got it? It has head, it has body, and it has tail. Okay? So the parts of the caudate nucleus are head, body, and tail. Okay? Now we will see the relations of this head, body, and tail. The head of the caudate nucleus. Got it? The head of the caudate nucleus forms the floor of the anterior wall of the lateral ventricle and medial wall of the anterior limb of the internal capsule. Then the body, it lies in the central part of the lateral ventricle. The body forms the floor of the central part of the lateral ventricle, and got it? It forms the floor of the central part of the lateral ventricle, and this body, it forms a medial relation with the posterior limb of internal capsule. It forms medial relation with the internal capsule, and it is separated from the internal capsule by the thalamus. In addition to the thalamus, it is also related to the thalamostrial vein and the stria terminalis. The tail is the last portion of the caudate nucleus, and this tail, it joins the amygdaloid body. But it ends by joining the amygdaloid body, and this tail end of the caudate nucleus, it forms a roof of the inferior horn of the lateral. So this is the tail, this is the inferior horn, and this tail forms the roof of the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. Okay, now the relations. The relations, medially the caudate nucleus is related to the stria terminalis, laterally it is related to the tapetum, and superiorly it is related to the lentiform part of internal capsule and the globus pallidus. Got it? So this I am just mentioning. You have to refer the diagrams which I have already drawn while talking about the lateral ventricle. So to repeat again the relations, medially it is related to the stria terminalis, laterally it is related to the tapetum, and superiorly it is related to the sublentiform part of the internal capsule and the globus pallidus. Now the next structure is the lentiform nucleus. Okay? The next nucleus of the corpus striatum is the lentiform nucleus. The another nucleus of corpus striatum is the lentiform nucleus. It is a large lens-shaped nucleus. Lentiform nucleus. Got it? Lentiform nucleus. So it is a large lens-shaped nucleus. It is a large lens-shaped nucleus. Got it? Biconvex. Biconvex like this. This is biconvex. Okay? Forming the lateral boundary of the internal capsule. Got it? Like forming the lateral boundary of the internal capsule. So now see, this is the internal capsule. Okay? This is the internal capsule. This is the lateral part. This is the medial part. Got it? This is the internal capsule. Got it? This is the lateral part. This is the medial part. Got it? Here there is presence of the head of the caudate nucleus, and here it is related to the thalamus. Got it? This is the caudate nucleus, head of the caudate nucleus. This is the thalamus. Got it? This is the thalamus, and within the concavity of this internal capsule is present the lentiform nucleus. Got it? Is present the lentiform nucleus. Got it? This lentiform nucleus, it consists of, got it, globus pallidus, got it, globus pallidus, and putamen. putamen or putamen, whatever you say is correct. Got it? It consists of medially over here is present the globus pallidus and this is the putamen. Got it? This globus pallidus is divided into two parts, globus and the pallidum. Got it? It is divided into globus and the pallidum. Okay, and this is the putamen. Over here on the lateral side, it is related to the claustrum. This is the claustrum, got it? Which is present on the lateral side of the lentiform nucleus. And inside this portion, this is the external capsule. So you have the internal capsule, you have the lentiform nucleus, you have the external capsule, and you have the claustrum. Got it? This is the claustrum. Got it? And on this lateral side of the claustrum, there is presence of the insula. Got it? There is presence of the insula. So when you cut open the cerebral hemisphere on the lateral side, these are the structures which you very clearly see. Now all the sulci and gyri, they are present from above downwards, isn't it? They are present horizontally, isn't it? From above downwards. You must have seen sometimes the surface of the brain. You must have seen in the department, isn't it? So all the sulci and gyri, they are present from above downwards like this. But this, got it? Insula, the gyrus is from before, from backwards into front. So the gyrus is this way. Aage, piche se aage. So that's why it is called as the insula. And very classically it is seen in the brain when you cut section. The all sulci and gyri coming from above downwards and the insula is going from backwards to front. Okay? So that is the insula. Now the lentiform nucleus. The lentiform nucleus, it is a lens-shaped nucleus situated within the concavity of the internal capsule, between the anterior and the posterior limb of the internal capsule. Got it? Within the concavity of the internal capsule. Got it? So the lateral part of the lentiform nucleus is called as the putamen and the medial part is called as the globus pallidus. Got it? This globus pallidus also consists of two parts. One is the globus globosus and one is the pallidum. Got it? One is the globosus and the other is the pallidum. Got it? The lateral surface of the lateral surface of the lentiform nucleus is related to the external capsule. So see the space which you see over here is the external capsule. Got it? Very classically the grey matter is, see, this is the external capsule, this is the claustrum and this is the insula. So laterally the lentiform nucleus is related to the external capsule, the claustrum and the insula. Got it? Laterally the lentiform nucleus is related to the external capsule, the claustrum and the insula. Got it? Then you have the medial surface. The medial surface is related to the internal capsule. Got it? The medial surface is related to the internal capsule, the head of the caudate nucleus and the thalamus. Got it? The medial surface of the lentiform nucleus is related to the internal capsule, the head of the caudate nucleus and the thalamus. Got it? And the inferior part, got it? Inferior, that is the sublentiform part of the it is related to the sublentiform part of the internal capsule. Got it? And it is separated from the optic tract, tail of the caudate nucleus and the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. So you can understand this. So here you will have the tail of the caudate nucleus, got it? And you will have the inferior horn, isn't it, surrounding the caudate nucleus. Okay? So to repeat again, the lentiform nucleus, it is a biconvex shaped nucleus situated within the concavity, of the internal capsule. Got it? It's situated within the concavity of the internal capsule. It consists of two parts, the globus pallidus and the putamen. The globus pallidus is present in the medial part, the putamen is present in the lateral. Okay? This globus pallidus again is two, the globus and the pallidum. Got it? So like this there are different parts present in the lentiform nucleus. This lentiform nucleus has a lateral relation, it has the medial relation. Got it? It has a lateral relation, it has a medial relation. The lateral relation of the lentiform nucleus, you have the internal capsule, Got it? You have the internal capsule, you have the claustrum, and you have the insula present on the lateral side. The internal capsule, the claustrum, and the insula. And along the medial part, it is related to the internal capsule. Got it? It is related to the internal capsule. It is related to the head of the caudate nucleus. It is related to the thalamus, and inferiorly, it is related to the sublentiform part of the internal capsule. It is related to the sublentiform part of the internal capsule. It is related to the tail of the caudate nucleus. Got it? It is related to the tail of the caudate nucleus and the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. Got it? Inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. Okay? So to repeat again, it is related to the sublentiform part of the internal capsule. Got it? The optic tract, the tail of the caudate nucleus, and the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. Okay, so this is the relation of the lentiform nucleus. Now, the most important part is the functions of the corpus striatum. The function of the corpus striatum, it regulates the muscle tone. You got it? The most important function of the corpus striatum is it regulates the muscle tone, and it helps in smoothening the voluntary movements. Like I pick up a chalk, I keep it over here. Got it? So this is the smoothing of action, isn't it? This is the smoothing. I walk, I put my right leg in front, automatically my left hand goes in front. So got it? So all these movements, got it, which we are not aware of. So they are smoothed, and this function is controlled by the corpus striatum. Then it also controls automatic associated movements. Got it? It also controls the associated movements, isn't it? Like I told you just now, when I walk, automatically my this hand goes in front. We are not aware of it, but then we move our hand as we are walking. So such type of movements are called as associated movements, and these are coordinated, and these are taken care by the nuclei that are present in the corpus striatum. Then it also controls the emotions and the expressions. Got it? It also controls the emotions and the expressions, and it controls the extrapyramidal activities. So extrapyramidal activities will have so many fibers, got it, which are going through the internal capsule. They are coming in, they are going out, and all these are connected by the internal capsule, isn't it? And therefore it carries a lot of important function. Okay, and execution of learned patterns of movements subconsciously. Whatever we learn, we perform it. We know. Now if something here so we want to do, so we have to do it in this fashion, isn't it? तर समजा आपल्याला गॅसवरती पातेलं ठेवायचं आहे, तर व्हॉट वी डू, आधी आपण लायटरनी गॅस पेटवणार, मग नंतर पातेलं ठेवणार. असं सबकॉन्शियस लेवलवरती हे सगळं चाललेलं असतं, बरोबर आहे की नाही? सो दिस वी डू. So corpus striatum, cerebellum, and the motor area of cerebrum. You got it? The corpus striatum, the cerebellum, and the motor area of the cerebrum are jointly responsible for planning, execution, and control of movements. They are jointly responsible for the planning, execution, and control of the movement. So to repeat again the function, it regulates the muscle tone. Got it? And helps in smoothening the voluntary action of the muscles. Got it? Voluntary movements of the muscles. Then it controls automatic associated movements. Got it? While performing various activity. The simple example is when you start walking, automatically the limb starts moving. So this is associated movements. Got it? While doing the actual movements. Then emotional expressions. Got it? It controls the extrapyramidal activities, and execution of learned pattern at the subconscious level. Isn't it? आता मला पातेलं ठेवायचं आहे, आता मला गॅस पेटवायचा आहे, आपण काही कागदावर लिहून घेतो का? नाही. got it? तर हे ऑटोमॅटिकली आपल्या हाताने होत राहतं. आपल्याला कोणी सांगत नाही, आपल्याला कोणी करत नाही, हे ऑटोमॅटिकली होत राहतं. देन लास्टली द कॉर्पस स्ट्रायटम, cerebellum, and the motor area of the cerebrum are jointly responsible for planning, execution, and control of the movements. Got it? So they are jointly responsible for planning, execution and control of the movements. Okay, understood? So this is about the basal corpus striatum. The corpus striatum consists of two parts, the caudate nucleus and the lentiform nucleus. The caudate nucleus is situated within the concavity of the lateral ventricle, and within the concavity of the lateral ventricle is situated the thalamus. Got it? And I talked to you about it consists of head, body, tail, isn't it? Tail end, it is ending into the amygdaloid body, and the lentiform nucleus is situated within the concavity of the internal capsule. It has just two relations, lateral and medial. So those lateral and medial relations you are supposed to know, and the most important function of the corpus striatum is to regulate the movements and to smoothen the movements. Got it? And it is especially motor in nature. Okay, so that is all for this lecture. So I hope you will go through the video, you will understand, and you will ask me if any difficulties you have. Okay, have a nice day.